The impact of climate change on the health of pregnant women is the fluctuation in temperature linked to early or recurrent miscarriages or to congenital abnormalities occurring in the first trimester of pregnancy. Do elevated temperatures truly impact the genetic reading of our DNA code? Today we have a brand new episode focusing on a very crucial topic, so make sure you stay with us right until the very end. To begin, Ramadan Mubarak to you all. May you be well every year. We sincerely hope that you will all benefit greatly from these upcoming episodes. Our discussions today are all about this intense heat. Today, we have women arriving who are fundamentally accustomed to living in cold environments. This means, for example, she resides in Europe. She lives in Canada, she lives in America, she traveled from these countries to, for instance, African nations, and she comes to complain that she was pregnant, and for the very first time, the heat affected her body in a different way. Just like some young women come and tell me, "Doctor, my menstrual cycle has always been perfectly regular throughout my life." But she came to Egypt. She lives in Turkey or perhaps in Europe. She came to Egypt for a visit and she told me, "Doctor, my menstrual cycle has become quite irregular. I swear to God, when I perform an ultrasound for these patients, I find the scan is perfectly fine. Their ovaries are completely healthy." I tell her that the fluctuation in your body's temperature is what caused the cycle to become irregular. The body is designed to operate with great efficiency. Millions of cells are working at their absolute maximum capacity. Pregnant women need to significantly increase their body's energy levels as a new fetus is actively developing and a placenta is also forming. Recent medical studies have conclusively demonstrated that an increase in ambient temperatures is associated with recurrent miscarriages occurring in the first trimester of pregnancy. They have also established a clear link to preterm birth, which is specifically defined as delivery occurring before 37 weeks of gestation. And it has also been proven to be associated with preeclampsia, which is a condition characterized by significantly high blood pressure, specifically a systolic pressure reading of at least 140 and a diastolic pressure reading of at least 90. And along with that, she experiences other symptoms. The woman starts complaining to me, saying, "Doctor, I have a terrible headache and my vision is blurry. My back is aching and my stomach hurts so much. My whole body feels swollen. I can't concentrate and I'm in constant pain. This headache just never leaves me." At that moment, I tell her, "You need to come to the clinic right away because I absolutely must check your blood pressure. If your blood pressure is high, it means you definitely have a problem." I also focus very carefully on monitoring all the symptoms. This high blood pressure could actually be caused by climate change. This pressure can also cause women to experience premature labor, which might culminate in either a cesarean section or a vaginal delivery, and subsequently the newborn baby may need to be placed in an incubator. Premature birth itself leads to numerous complications, one of the most significant being the baby's admission to an incubator. This premature baby has lungs that haven't completed their development. What concerns us with premature birth, if it occurs before 34 weeks of pregnancy, is because scientifically and medically, before 34 weeks of gestation, there are cells. These are the cells responsible for the lung's final development, which haven't yet fully formed, and these are primarily responsible for secreting a substance called surfactant, which is crucial for the lung's development and growth. So you find the baby in an incubator on artificial respiration and oxygen tubes, and the parents are scared, asking, "Why did our son go into an incubator?" Our son was hospitalized because, quite simply, his lungs did not fully develop, and he is unable to breathe naturally. If you take him off the ventilator or off the oxygen supply, you'll find him struggling to breathe, meaning he cannot draw a full breath. The second point, which we are all very well aware of, today's medical research indicates that our world is progressing towards a phenomenon known as global warming, which implies exceptionally high temperatures. And conversely, there will be no significant alteration in the prevailing climatic conditions, meaning you will observe that the traditional seasons are no longer distinctly referred to as winter, spring, autumn, and summer. No, the entire year has turned to summer because the temperature is constantly high and the ozone layer has been breached due to pollution. It's a vicious cycle you're discussing and inquiring about. Doctor, when I was in my home country, I used to get pregnant and give birth naturally. A war broke out and I came to Egypt. Ever since I arrived here in Egypt, doctor, I haven't been able to get pregnant, and if I do, I miscarry. Of course, I was also telling them that high temperatures can cause high cortisol levels in the body. This cortisol hormone is the hormone of anxiety and stress. And what you need to know is that this hormone causes high blood pressure, And when that pressure increases, the blood flow decreases to the blood vessels that supply the uterus and also supply the placenta, which is responsible for nourishing the fetus. Consequently, this woman often experiences a miscarriage in the first trimester of pregnancy, or unfortunately, she suffers from reduced placental perfusion and an early placental abruption. And sadly, it results in a premature birth and the baby needs an incubator, and unfortunately, this baby might not survive. So you ask me, what should we do? We need to do something important. You have now traveled from one country to another where the climate is high and elevated. We need to make sure our home is air conditioned. The fans must not be turned off. If you have the financial means, get an air conditioner. Your body needs to be at a reasonable temperature. The normal natural room temperature our bodies can tolerate is 25 degrees. If the temperature rises and reaches 40 or even 45 degrees Celsius, your body, in an effort to cope and adapt, will then lose a substantial amount of its vital fluids through intense perspiration. You'll find yourself sweating profusely, and when you sweat that much, your overall blood volume will significantly decrease. And your plasma volume decreases, and your blood flow diminishes, and you also experience a drop in blood pressure. All of this affects you if you are considering pregnancy because there isn't sufficient blood circulation, so it's essential that you drink plenty of water. You should drink at least 5 to 6 liters of water daily. Stay in air conditioning and try not to go outside at all between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. Today some women tell me, well, doctor, I am pregnant and I want to perform Umrah. I tell them, Mama, if you are going to perform religious rituals, the general climate in Saudi Arabia is quite hot. Therefore, we strongly advise visitors to come during the cooler months, specifically October, November, and December. However, May, June, July, and August are the peak summer months when temperatures soar. During this time, we often see pregnant women suffering from severe heat stroke, and tragically, they might even lose their unborn child. This is a general summary that addresses a very important topic, which is, does the climate that surrounds us truly have an impact? Does global warming on a global scale affect fertility? The answer is yes, it does affect. And the final point I wish to address in this particular video is that many young women often say to me, Doctor, I live, for example, in Turkey or in Britain. I came to visit a country like Africa, or I came to Egypt, for instance. Egypt's summers are generally very hot. She tells me, Doctor, I came to Egypt and my period stopped coming. I tell her that the cold won't come back after we've ruled out all possible medical reasons, because Egypt's temperature is quite high and your body has naturally adapted itself to a specific temperature. So this sudden difference in temperature affecting your body is what's causing everything you're feeling right now. I just truly hope today's episode was beneficial for you all and added some really great and useful information. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and share this video with your friends. And may you all be well every year.